The article that I came across wasn't surprising at all because it was Miss Captain Marvel, Alison. Oh, sorry, not Alison Brie. Brie Larson. Alison Brie is a completely different actress, but Brie Larson won't allow the Captain Marvel media tour to be overwhelming white. So it wasn't that long ago she came out to say that there's too many white reviewers, and also remember that when she attacked this TSA agent who asked for a number because she smiled at him. She's so oppressed, and that she's turned into a racist against white people. Captain Marvel star Brie Larson says she is determined to make sure the Marvel movie's upcoming press junket is diverse and female-led, pledging to Marie Claire UK that she will keep the tour becoming overwhelmingly white or male. Isn't that really sexist or racist? Larson is starring as Carol Danvers in the Marvel Universe's female-led superhero blockbuster due out the first week of March. The hotly anticipated Captain Marvel draws on the character's long history and should be a key element in the Marvel Universe's next generation of films. But feminists, including Larson, are determined to make the movie a landmark for women. About a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days looked like, and the critics reviewing movies, I noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male. Larson told Marie Claire UK's Kia Brown, according to Fox News, so I spoke to Dr. Stacey Smith at USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, who put together a study to confirm that. They put together a study that found that out of the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017, 67% of top critics were white males. Less than 25% were white women, while 10% were men of color, and 2.5% were women of color, New York Post reports. As a result, Larson says she started handpicking the journalists she's working with, giving preference to journalists of color who she believes may not get the same opportunities as other entertainment reporters. She selected Brown, for example, because Brown is a freelance reporter who writes about pop culture, disability, blackness, and womanhood. Brown has cerebral palsy. Although Captain Marvel herself isn't an overt feminist, though she is a very powerful, accomplished woman after she gains superpowers. Larson confirmed recently that she has plans to make Captain Marvel a big feminist movie. Bounding into comics reports that Larson announced her intent to Entertainment Tonight, which visited the set of Captain Marvel back in May. I had a meeting with Marvel and we discussed they wanted to make a big feminist movie. She told the Entertainment of Television show the film's director Anna Boden was less aggressive about the movie's intent. The story lends itself to it. Boden said, "We're not trying to make this movie about all women. We can't make it about all women journalists, but just really true to this woman's genre." Although Marvel promises an epic superhero flick, Captain Marvel fans, particularly female fans, including your favorite reporter of the genre, do fear that turning Captain Marvel into a feminist icon the way Wonder Woman was marketed will have a detrimental effect on the character herself. Often, characters that are repurposed to be typical feminists or feminists in the modern sense of the word become stereotypes, betraying the decades of character development that takes place in their respective comic books before a movie ever premieres. So that's basically the article. And it is also interesting that Marvel actually chose Carol Danvers instead of Monica Rambeau, the original Captain Marvel, a black superhero. So she's literally taking a role and a character and whitewashing it according to her own logic. So let's use her own logic. So she's taking a job from a black oppressed female, and also looking at it from the outside, she's oppressing white men because even though they might be the best person for the job, have the best questions, are just the best reporters overall. I mean, most men are probably in that culture of games, movies, music, mostly men that review these sorts of things. And again, going back to BuzzFeed, and we have Guardian, New York Times, all of these big outlets, Just a few weeks ago, they let go 1,000 journalists, and they're all going down the drain by mostly firing women and minorities, because it doesn't seem that they're good enough for the jobs. So they're the first to go. Isn't that really interesting, Brie Larson? So she continues her racist behavior towards and getting woke on the promotion tour of Captain Marvel. I'm not gonna watch this movie because it's gonna use the same advertising campaign as Black Panther. Instead of Black History Month, it's gonna do it on International Women's Day. Basically, the most feminist movie you can have. But the difference is, Wonder Woman didn't use any of this in the PR campaign. They just showed an iconic character, the most iconic female superhero of the last century, or she's almost 100 years old now as a character, and people were interested to see her first big installment on the big screen, and it was a great movie. I personally love the movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, because in no way in that movie does does Wonder Woman belittle or make fun of men on so that she looks better. Quite the opposite. It's a quite unique dynamic that shows difference between men and women, and just a really good written movie and a well directed movie. Well, this, on the other hand, seems to have an ideological perspective, and if she is the one that is going to ruin Endgame as well, then the MCU is officially dead. Because you've had 10 years of great characters in Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Ant-Man, Loki. You have Black Panther, who hasn't been that long. You have Bucky, the Winter Soldier. You have all of these characters in the Avengers, Scarlet Witch, Vision, all these awesome characters that have been built up throughout. I think there are over 20 movies now, and she's just gonna. The Russo brothers already said that she's the most powerful character in the MCU, and Shuriki, the sister of T'Challa in Black Panther, is the smartest one. So we're probably gonna have two Mary Sues being at the center of the MCU going forward. So I hope I'm wrong. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.